My name is Ankit Chakya, and I am from Nepal Drives.
My name is Deepal. Why not introduce me, your smart assistant, to your friends?
And this is the Deepal S07. Like I said earlier, this is the Deepal S07, a mid-size electric SUV that comes from a sub-brand of Chang'an, which is China's oldest automobile manufacturer. The Deepal S07 looks stunning, and while people comparing it to the Urus is funny, it's not too surprising. It has a stunning stance, the profile has a good flow to it, and the car has a sense of presence that cannot be ignored. Now, there are many things that they mentioned in the press release, including their history, their collaborations for designs and for research. But one thing that really stood out for me was that these products are promised to be usable for 10 years or 260,000 kilometers. Now, when you're putting in 72 lakh of your own money into one car, that's the kind of thing that you want to hear. Now, this car comes in at 71.99 lakh, and this is what you get. A very handsome looking car that was made in Turin, Italy, if that is important to you. Now, the aerodynamic shape of this car gives it a drag coefficient of 0.258, which is very close to the Tesla SY, if that is important to you too. Up front, they've got LED daytime running lights, which they've called Star Petal. And to match, you've got Star Flame through type taillights in the back. Cool names if you ask me. I like the sharp black cladding on the bottom. They add a sporty look along with a slightly sloping roof. Other elements like the frameless door windows, flush door handles, and spoilers with the high mount stop lamp all add to the overall positive aesthetics of the Deepal S07. But you're not buying the Deepal S7 just for its looks, are you? Thankfully, it has a feature list to match, and you'll see that immediately once I open the door and try to get in. The seats automatically roll back so that it's easier for you to get in. The seats themselves are made of artificial perforated leather, and they're very comfortable. Now, you've got power adjustments for both driver and passenger, but for the driver's seat you also get a lumbar support. They're ventilated as well. It's got a massive 15.6-inch touchscreen unit, which tilts automatically for better visibility, and it's got loads of features. Now, this is pretty much where you control the entire car from. For instance, you've got your AC controls right here. You can press this button to access the AC. Let me just turn it down for a bit so that it doesn't affect the mic, and then you can control your ventilated seats from here, or you can just put it down so that you've got a shortcut for easier access. Then you have your drive modes, Eco, Comfort, Sport, or there's a custom mode where you can customize your own driving style. And then you've got music, you've got your battery life display. There are a whole lot of things which we'll get into that you can control from this unit right here. The cabin itself is very well put together. You've got very premium elements everywhere. I can't really find plasticky, scratchy bits anywhere that kind of bothers me. All touch points are really nice to touch, basically. And then Deepal have called this a yacht-like extravagant design, which I think is alright. It's really nice. It's got good stitching. It feels opulent in many cases. Now, it has a wireless charging port for your phone with a cooling vent to keep your phone cool. Now, this also has another place for your phone, but it does not have wireless cooling. And then you've got two cup holders here, a storage unit here. It has a cooled glove box, cooled storage box. The glove box is right here. It has a nice opening action. You've got storage units here for your bottle and a couple of files, I guess. Not too much there. but I like this wood type finish. And then the buttons for your Windows operation and to open the door is pretty cool too. The seats are comfortable. There's good enough thigh support, and the back is also pretty comfortable. You're bolstered in, so you're not going to be moving around a lot. And then you've got good headroom, enough for me. It's very comfortable. You get a very good vantage point of where you're going. And these windows are double paneled and soundproof, so it's going to be a very quiet cabin. Now let's move on to the back to see what it's like back there. The back seats are spacious, properly spacious. Even with the seat fixed at my driving position, I get plenty of knee room, headroom, and this massive panoramic sunroof makes it feel very airy, open. It's amazing. I love the back seat. Not only do the rear passengers have their own AC vent, you've also got a touchscreen unit through which you can control the temperature. You've also got a button, a touchscreen button, which moves the front seat so that you have a little more leg space if you want it. And then you can also close the electronic sunshade with the press of a button. On the center, you've got an armrest with 2 cup holders, but you can still have it pushed back and seat 3 people very comfortably. It's a very spacious space here. I like it. You get more space value in the boot, which has a capacity of 445 liters and a frunk with 125 liters of space. The gesture recognition was one that we thought was cool. You can also choose from various cabin modes that change the settings according to your activity. It does a nifty light show too. Does that remind you of any other car? The car remembers your seating positions. It automatically defogs the windscreen if fogging occurs. Place the phone on the charging pad and it wirelessly charges for you. If it rains, the window rolls up automatically. You can check on the back seat from the touchscreen display, which can be useful if you have a baby on board. There is a tiny sensor that detects if you are drowsy and warns you to wake up. Overall, it is a very smart car packed with features. Now with that out of the way, let's get behind the wheel and drive. The Deepal S07 has a battery capacity of 66.8 kilowatt hours, and that gives you a WLTP range of 410 kilometers. The total maximum power is 99 kilowatt and the maximum torque is 320 Newton meters. All very good numbers, but the power that is delivered is very linear. It's nice to drive. It doesn't come at you with any surprises. It's very predictable to drive, but when you really put the pedal to the metal, it does go if you want it to. But you do get 3 driving modes: Eco, Sport and Comfort. And then there's another one where you can customize the type of setting that you want. You can change your acceleration output, the energy regeneration from your braking, and the steering input as well. Eco mode is great for the city. You don't get a lot of aggressive feedback when you're stepping on the accelerator. It's smooth, it's decent, it's great for the city, like I said. But one qualm that I have is that the brake regeneration feels a little too aggressive, and I can't find any settings to really change that. The only way I can change the settings for the brake regeneration is if I go into the custom driving mode, and then I have like plenty of adjustability for the brake regeneration. But for Eco mode, I think there is a little too much brake regen. You're kind of, moving around a lot. You really notice it. But in Comfort mode, that goes away. It's really smooth to drive. It's the best of both worlds, basically. Now Sports mode is a lot of fun. The acceleration is vigorous. It responds to your accelerator input quickly, the steering firms up, and overtaking is a cinch. Step on the accelerator and it moves. Car moves. But one thing is that this car does have a bit of body roll. The suspension is also slightly on the softer side, so cornering isn't its strongest suit, but it is comfortable. And I think it's not worth complaining about because this is a mid-size SUV and we're pretty much not a sedan and we're higher up from the ground, so there's no point bickering about it. But it's something that I thought you should know. But yes, this is a rear-wheel drive car, so which makes it, in my opinion, a little more fun to drive. It gives it a little more traction and it adds to the sportiness of the drive. Yeah, it's fun.
I also like the AR heads-up display. It relays the relevant information you need while driving and provides a very futuristic feel to the experience. But I did miss the conventional speedometer at times.
Apart from your creature comfort features, this car has a lot of safety features as well. You've got your ABS, EBD, traction control system, you've got your hill hold assist, your hill descent control, to name a few. And you've got front airbags, side airbags, curtain airbags. So safety-wise, you're set, yeah.
Another feature that I really like is the blind spot monitoring system that lights up on your outside rear view mirrors. Those come in real handy. As I mentioned earlier, the range is 410 kilometers according to WLTP. And you have a DC fast charging time of 35 minutes. That gets you from 30% to 80% battery charge. You also get a vehicle to load feature which can be useful.
The Deepal S07 is one of, if not the most feature-rich product that we've ever driven. Whether it's the luxurious cabin, the intelligent driver assistance system, the safety, the driving experience, Deepal has pulled no punches. The range is pretty decent too. We had no range anxiety, and in an EV, that's very important. At this moment, there's very little that I think of that's missing in this car. However, with all the tech that's in it, there is one drawback. People who aren't as tech savvy might feel that this car is a little daunting. However, this car looks and feels like it was made for young people. So in that respect, the Deepal S07 hits the nail right on the head in that demographic. Apart from that, the Deepal S7 feels like a new age car, a step into the new era. Considering it locks horns with none other than the Tesla Model Y, the 72 lakh price point doesn't seem too bad if you have that kind of money. Plus, you get a 150,000 kilometer warranty or an 8-year warranty on the battery or the motor, whichever one comes first. Now, while there were times where I felt that the car was more intelligent than I was, I enjoyed driving it. If you're in the market for EVs, this is definitely a car that you should at least test drive before committing to anything. Still speaking. Alright, that's all for now. Make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe, do everything. That's it, I'm out of here. Until next time.